So I was in a consult and somebody told me, my Facebook ads, they don't work. So therefore they dropped their Facebook spend and just said, Facebook ads, they're a dud. I want to talk about it.
The Mammoth Plumber podcast, Tyler Williams on the mic. He's dropping marketing gold, making your business spike.
I have this conversation a lot with people where they come to me and they go like, we tried this, we tried this, we tried this, and we tried this, and it's not working. And one of the first things that I go is, if it's not working, then why is it working for others? And why are other people in your market also spending on it? Now, that's not always true. Sometimes we end up running into a market where they don't spend on it regularly. But for the most part, Facebook is kind of a constant. And TikTok's becoming that soon, but it's a little bit more e-commerce centric at the moment. But Facebook is an interesting place because realistically, a lot of people are on the Meta Ads network because it encompasses both Facebook and Instagram. And both of those are taking up eyeballs and time and attention in your prospects' minds. Now, when people say, why didn't they work? I often ask them, well, what did you run? What were you actually advertising? They're like, well, we ran a special. It's like, okay, but what else was out there before that? Like, you ran a special, but that's a little bit like asking people to marry you on the first date. And who knows what kind of special they ran? Because the offer really does matter. If it's $500 off water heater installation, that's a big difference than $50 off a water heater installation, right? And often people tend to undersell, like they tend to underestimate the power of an offer, and they make their offers really low. And so they don't resonate. And that's usually what happens, honestly, is if you run ads, there's two things you can do. You can do things like lead gen through offers and lead magnets and things like that, which will give you some information that your team can follow up on. The other thing you can do is just straight up brand awareness, like, hey, we're here, call us when you need us. And most of the time that I see people running ads, if you go into Facebook's ad library, which is a free tool where you can scope out all of your competition in your market, by the way, and start looking at plumbers across the US and Canada, guess what? The ads are terrible. They're horrible. They're all like, call today, and that doesn't make sense because you're showing up before people ever have a problem. And the other thing they are is they're just a bullet list of services. They have like a guy in blue overalls sitting there with a wrench, and everybody's like, that's a fake man. This company is barely trying. And it's just not interesting. So I think that the problem isn't the platform. The problem is the creative. And you have to remember that you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So when it comes to advertising, you've got this customer journey and it can break at any point. So you're going to pick a platform. You're going to buy impressions of your advertising. If your advertising doesn't garner any attention, you have to be looking at that creative. If the creative does in fact garner attention and you're trying to get somebody to a landing page in order to take you up on an offer, and that offer is just not getting the conversions you want or not getting the downloads or the clicks that you're hoping or the contacts, well, then something's wrong with your offer. Like there's a lot inside of all this. There's many points along the path where things can sort of break down. But I will tell you, one of the first places that things break down usually is in communication. Imagine you walk up to somebody for the first time and you just say, I'm a plumber, call me today. That is horrible, right? I'm not saying I'm a marketer, call me today. No, I'm trying to build a relationship with the people out there who are plumbers by being useful, being entertaining, and helping them make better decisions for their business so that one day they wake up and they go, I wonder what services that guy does. And then they seek me out. So it's the same thing for you guys. The same exact pathway. It is, all right, you need to show up and be interesting before they ever need you. So that way, when you do, like when they have a need, you're poised to catch them in that demand phase. And there's a lot out there about like the funnel of marketing, customer journeys and all this, and it holds true. But a lot of you are missing the first step, which is say something with resonance. Say something that people can't forget. And sometimes it's being bolder than you're willing to be. And so I would love to see people challenge themselves a lot more. I'll give you a book to read. It is called From Poop to Gold. It is written by these guys who started the Harmon Brothers, and the From Poop to Gold is really talking about squatty potty. Now, for those of you who don't know, squatty potty is the thing that you put your feet on and you put it at the base of your toilet, so when you poop, your poop goes faster or better or whatever. I've never used one. But the advertising for it is really what launched it. And they had a unicorn pooping rainbows into an ice cream cone, like a soft serve rainbow, okay? And so it used the squatty potty to make that poop work. And that was the whole thing. They called it the squatty potty and all that. That thing took off, and I remember going to a talk by one of the guys who was on the creative team and sort of just taking in the fact that if they had just been like, this will help you with your bowel movements, and pitched it like a medical device, that thing would have fallen flat on its face. Instead, they got interesting, and things take off when they're interesting. Now, you don't always get to choose what's interesting. You just put things out into the world and you see what the audience accepts, and then you lean into it. That's part of the process. That's why you can have hundreds of $1-million movies fail dramatically. So don't think that this is an easy or linear process. It's a series of experimentations, but it's all down to creative and communicating with a little bit of gusto. So I highly recommend that you take the time to, before you write off a platform, take time to really analyze how the user responds to that platform and whether or not you are meeting them where they're at, or if you're trying to pull them into your zone, because that's often the problem that I see. Anywho, I hope this was useful. Thank you for the time. If you like this video, please like the video. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about marketing, and we'll go ahead and try and answer it, and it might become its own video. So, we'll see you later.
Want to grow your business? Here's the plan. Go to TylerWilliams.net and be the talk of the land. Now let me tell you the epic tale of how Tyler Williams became the marketing man. His story begins when he was just a year-old lad. His mother needed a plumber, but the ads were so bad. The house flooded and sank, and Tyler was mad. Swallowed by the earth, into the abyss they fell. He blamed the bad marketing that led them to this hell. At 1 year old, he vowed to the stars above. He harnessed marketing power and did Plumbers some love. He's Tyler Williams, the marketing baby. From tragedy he rose to bring plumbers joy. With a vow to the stars and a plan in his hand, he's the one who'll save them, the marketing baby. Years later, he set out on a quest to find ancient secrets that would make him the best. He tamed Mark the Mammoth and rode the wilderness vast, fighting bland campaigns, leaving them in the past. In a glowing cave with light so bright, he found a dead wizard clutching tablets of might. For 30 long years, he studied those stones, deciphering marketing secrets that shook him to his bones. He's Tyler Williams, the marketing boy, imbued with power, turning pain into joy. With fire in his eyes and stone-carved campaigns, he brings plumbers the truth to ease their pains. 30 years later, he emerged from the cave, riding Mark the Mammoth, a legend so brave. Back to Alaska with tablets in tow, he chiseled new ads ready to make them glow. His campaigns were epic, like discovering fire. Plumbers would soar, lifted ever higher. He hit the launch button, the world wasn't prepared. Neighborhoods flooded with jokes as Tyler declared. After 40 long years of learning marketing power, the baby became a boy, the boy became a man, and now Tyler Williams finally became the fabled marketing man. He's Tyler Williams, the marketing man, bringing plumbers out of the Stone Age. world with boldness and might, crafting campaigns that set everything right. He's bald, bearded, with glasses in place, laughs at his jokes, but they're never out of place. With a smile and a wink, he launches the show. His ads are dumb, but they make plumbers grow. He's the marketing man, with campaigns so grand, bringing plumbers out of the Stone Age as he planned.